everyone. Hope you're off to a great start to your Friday. And I also hope you are enjoying this lovely winter wonderland. I know I have been. It's been awesome to see the snow like we have been seeing it. So a good friend of mine, she and I this past week at work, we were talking about good old movies, Disney especially, the classics like 101 Dalmatians and Emperor's New Groove. And we were talking about the villains. And we were commenting on how the villains in those movies, you could just tell that they were villains, not just by the way they looked, but by also how the way they talked, and of course by their actions. And the more we kept on with this conversation, she and I both agreed that villains in movies nowadays, you don't really see them as villains anymore. Even the way they look, they don't really necessarily look villainous. And on top of that, we are actually meant to feel sorry for these villains now, as opposed to the classics where the villains, we immediately hated them and just could not stand who they were. Now with these villains that we are seeing in the most recent movies, we're supposed to feel compassionate and feel sorry for them. And my good friend had made a comment that they're not villains, they're just simply misunderstood. And I believe as followers, yes, Jesus says that we are to love our enemies, but that does not mean that we as followers are meant to be naive and gullible when it comes to evil in this world. We're meant to be on the lookout for the evil that is in this world. I think of Ephesians 5, when Paul is talking to the Ephesians, and he's telling them that we are to exhibit God's goodness. We are not meant to be living in the darkness. We are meant to live as Christians, as Christ followers, which means goodness. So I want to open up to Ephesians 5 and start off with verse 8. For you were once darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Live as children of light, for the fruit of light consists in all goodness, righteousness, and truth. And find out what pleases the Lord. Have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. It is shameful even to mention what the disobedient do in secret. But everything exposed by the light becomes visible, and everything that is illuminated becomes a light. This is why it is said, "Wake up, sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you." Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand that the Lord's will is. So we are not meant to live in the darkness. Rather, we are meant to be wise during this time because the days are evil. So as followers of Christ, let us look to the Lord's will. Continue loving those who the Lord places in our lives, of course, but don't become naive. Don't shy away from the fact that there is evil in this world and that we are actually even meant to expose this evil because we carry the best light in us that exposes the evil in this world. Have a great day.